Let's face facts. There's nothing worse than watching the woman you love start finding fault with everything you do. You know precisely what I mean. It begins with tiny jabs. Maybe she cracks a snide comment about your income, or rolls her eyes when you get dressed up for a night out. Then she starts stacking you up against other guys, a coworker, or her friend's partner. Before long, you feel like you're tiptoeing through your own house. You start wondering, what am I doing wrong here? Why does nothing I do ever seem good enough for her? But pause right there and take a breath, because in this video, I'm going to reveal something most men never figure out until it's far too late. When a woman puts you down, looks down on you, or nitpicks you nonstop, it almost never reflects your actual value as a man. It's really about her private struggles, her fears, and a silent power play she's trying to win. Today we'll break down the 4 genuine reasons women behave this way. I won't just hand you abstract theories. I'll walk you through the exact warning signs so you can pinpoint precisely why she's acting out. Even more importantly, I'll give you a concrete, step-by-step approach for handling her behavior with composure and bringing her back to reality, all without losing your temper or groveling for her approval. If you fall into the trap of playing along with her, or if you try arguing, shouting, and proving your value to her, you've already lost. She isn't looking for an emotional reaction from you. She wants something entirely different, and that's exactly what you're about to learn. Our goal here is straightforward, helping you build relationships grounded in deep respect and emotional health. To everyone who keeps coming back, thank you for your continued support. And if you're new, I'm Isabella. Go ahead and hit subscribe right now, because every video on this channel is built to help you understand female psychology, relationship patterns, and human nature more deeply. Flip on notifications so you catch every new upload the moment it drops. Now let's jump right into reason number 1. The single biggest reason a woman starts putting you down or making you feel insignificant has nothing to do with your shortcomings. It's entirely rooted in her own buried insecurities. Here's the thing. When someone feels inadequate on the inside, they face 2 paths. Either they put in real effort to grow, or they try dragging the person beside them down to their level instead. For a lot of women, tearing down your confidence is simply the path of least resistance to feeling powerful, secure, and in control. It's a raw survival mechanism wired into a toxic mindset. If she secretly believes a man like you, with your potential, drive, or looks, is out of her league, panic sets in. She lies awake, dreading the day you'll open your eyes, recognize your worth, and walk away. So what's her move? She strikes first. By steadily wearing down your self-worth day after day, she attempts to convince you that you're actually the fortunate one, that she's doing you a huge favor simply by sticking around. How do you catch this happening in real time? Watch closely how she discusses other people. You'll spot a distinct pattern of her repeatedly bringing up her alternatives. She'll casually mention that other guys are checking her out, texting her, or trying to take her on dates. She'll say things like, "You're fortunate I decided to settle down with you, because plenty of men out there would treat me like royalty." This is a manufactured narrative. Deep down, she knows her actual worth doesn't measure up to what you provide. So she invents a phantom lineup of rival men to pressure you into placing her on a pedestal she hasn't earned. Another telling sign is her reaction when you're actually thriving. If you start hitting the gym, upgrading your wardrobe, or earning recognition at work, an insecure woman won't join in your celebration. She'll hunt for a way to sabotage your mood instead. She'll mock your new outfit, dismiss your career win, or claim your goals are pointless. Why? Because your growth terrifies her. If your confidence grows too much, she fears losing her grip on you, so she tries to crush your spirit early, keeping you small enough to control. So how should you respond to a woman belittling you purely out of her own insecurity? Most men make the error of arguing back, getting angry, defensive, scrambling to justify themselves. They say things like, "Why would you say that? Look at everything I do for you." The instant you say that, you've lost. You're literally pleading for her validation, proving that her words hold power over your emotional state. You're playing her game, and she'll win it every single time. To break this cycle instantly, deploy the ultimate psychological weapon: total, unwavering non-desperation. The next time she tries threatening you with talk of other men or hints about what she could get elsewhere, don't look angry, don't raise your voice, hold steady eye contact, stay perfectly calm, and hand her the exit key. Say something like, "If you genuinely believe another man could give you a better life or treat you better than I do, you're completely free to go find out. But I won't sit here and let you drag other men into this conversation to disrespect me. If you want to leave, the door's open. If you want to stay, speak to me with respect. This single response flips the power dynamic instantly. A woman acting from insecurity is banking entirely on your fear of losing her. She expects you to chase her, apologize, or beg. When you show zero fear of walking away, her false bravado crumbles. She realizes her words didn't dent your armor. They just pushed her further toward losing you. Most of the time, you'll watch her calm down and retreat almost immediately. On top of that, stop giving her undivided attention when she pulls this. If she's tearing your confidence down to keep other women at bay, do the exact opposite of what she wants. Don't isolate yourself or pour all your energy into fixing her mood. Keep hitting the gym, keep dressing sharp, keep socializing, building your business, and speaking to others confidently. Once she sees her negativity can't derail your grind or your social life, the tactic becomes worthless. You hold the power because you've proven you don't need her approval to know your own worth. The second major reason a woman belittles you is her drive to establish total dominance and control over your life. Every relationship carries an unspoken power negotiation. When a woman has a toxic craving for control, cutting you down is her go-to tool. She understands that a man who respects himself and knows his worth can't be easily manipulated. A genuinely strong man says no when something's wrong. So to make sure you never push back, she needs to dismantle your instincts, making you second-guess your own sanity. It's a slow, deliberate plan to make your entire world orbit around her alone. When you two first met, you likely carried real confidence. You knew what you wanted, had your own hobbies, held your own opinions, but a controlling woman views your independence as a threat to her authority. She knows she can't run things if you're standing firm, so she uses calculated disrespect to erode your foundation until you can't make even a small decision without her blessing. The clearest indicator of this power play is the toxic comparison game. She'll constantly reference other men, her friend's boyfriend, a coworker, some random guy online, and measure your lifestyle against theirs. She'll say things like, "Why can't you handle things the way he does?" Or, "A real man would have fixed this already." She's rigging a game you're built to lose. No matter how hard you work or how much you contribute, she keeps shifting the target so you always feel like you failed. This is exactly how strong, capable men end up trapped enduring endless mistreatment. They didn't enter the relationship weak. They were ground down gradually over time. Once she becomes the sole judge of whether you're doing well, your entire life becomes hostage to her moods. You start seeking permission before hanging with friends, spending your own money, or making any move, paralyzed by fear of upsetting her, hoping one act of appeasement will finally earn her respect. To dismantle a control tactic, refuse to participate in the game altogether. The biggest mistake men make is defending themselves against her unfair comparisons. If she says, "Why can't you buy me things like Marcus buys his girlfriend?" and you start justifying your finances or work ethic, you've already lost. You were standing there like a child trying to convince his mother he's been good, handing her the authority to judge you. Instead, withdraw your attention and presence immediately. When she leans on comparisons or disrespect to steer you, don't argue, don't shout, don't explain yourself. Arguing is just emotional fuel, proof that she's rattled your mental state and still controls your thoughts. Stay dead silent, give zero emotional reaction, walk away from the conversation, and start making your own decisions without seeking her input or validation. Want to see your friends? Don't ask permission. Just say, "I'm heading out with the guys tonight. See you later." If she erupts or tries guilt-tripping you back, don't engage. Walk out. Show her, through calm, decisive action, that your life keeps moving with or without her approval. Once a controlling woman realizes her insults, no longer force you to chase her approval, and instead push you toward independent leadership, her control mechanism collapses entirely. A woman cannot dominate a man who's fully at ease leading his own life and shrugging off her tantrums. Become the sole judge of your own worth, and her ability to manipulate you vanishes completely. The third reason a woman relentlessly belittles you traces back to deep dissatisfaction and buried resentment. But here's the catch. This dissatisfaction is almost never truly about you. In this scenario, her sharp words and hostile attitude are simply misdirected emotional wreckage. She might be genuinely unhappy with her own life, career, or past decisions, but lacking the emotional maturity to confront those issues herself. She uses you as her emotional punching bag instead. This often surfaces when a woman enters a relationship dragging unresolved baggage from a previous partner she never fully processed. Maybe she wanted a particular type of man, it didn't pan out, and she settled for a genuinely good man like you, arriving with the mindset of wanting someone who's churchy, rather than partner with her. She's hunting for a savior, not a husband. The moment reality sets in, or you can't satisfy every unspoken, unrealistic demand she has, bitterness takes hold. Recognize this type of resentment through a total breakdown in ordinary communication. A woman unhappy with her own choices stops trying to actually resolve issues with you. Every interaction instead becomes an opportunity for a passive-aggressive dig. She rolls her eyes at your words, sighs dramatically when you walk in, and tosses out blanket accusations like, "You always do this," or "You never do anything right." If you sit down like a mature adult and ask, "What's really going on? Why are you upset?" she won't give you a straight answer. She'll go silent, or dredge up something meaningless from 3 years ago that has nothing to do with the present. She isn't interested in solving the problem, because you were never the problem, her own life is. But rather than confront her own failures, she projects that bitterness onto you, making you feel responsible for her unhappiness. When a woman mistreats you because of her own internal resentment, never sink to her level by trading insults. If she says something cruel and you fire back, you're just fueling her resentment. Handing her the excuse she needs to justify her behavior, she'll tell herself, "See, I knew he was a jerk. I have every right to treat him this way." You can't heal her bitterness by wading into the mud with her. Your move here is drawing an immovable line and attaching a real consequence to it. Look her in the eyes and calmly deliver a final boundary. "I can see you're frustrated and unhappy right now, but I won't tolerate being spoken to like this. I'm a grown man and your partner, not your punching bag. If you can't speak to me with basic respect, I'm leaving the house for the night, and we need to seriously consider whether we should stay together." And here's the crucial part. If she says one more disrespectful word after that warning, stand up and leave immediately. Don't linger to argue further. Don't chase the last word. Just go. A boundary with no real consequence is meaningless noise. Show her that being in your presence is a privilege, and respect is the price of admission. By withdrawing your presence entirely, you force her to sit alone with her toxic thoughts, realizing she can no longer use you as an emotional outlet without risking losing you for good. This forces a clear choice on her. Either she does the hard internal work to fix her attitude, or she walks away. Either outcome is a win for you, because you refuse to let anyone turn your peaceful life into a battlefield. The fourth and final reason a woman belittles you is something deeply primal, and every man needs to grasp this. She's testing your masculine core. In dating circles, this gets labeled a test. It's rarely a deliberate, conscious plan. More often, it's an unconscious biological reflex. A woman needs confirmation that the man leading her can withstand real-world pressure, and the simplest way for her to find out is to push against you herself. These tests show up as sudden, random challenges to your authority. She might toss out a sharp remark about a decision you just made, or question whether you can handle a situation in front of friends or family. She'll say things like, "Are you even sure about this?" because it doesn't look like it, or mock a goal you're chasing. She's watching your face and body language closely to see if her words shake your confidence, provoke anger, or make you lose composure. If you instantly reverse your decision just because she questioned it, or scramble to explain why your plan is solid, she logs that as a failure, proof your confidence was fake, that she can rattle your entire reality with one sentence. A woman will keep belittling and pushing a man who fails these tests until she loses all respect for him and leaves entirely. How do you pass a masculine core test? By doing essentially nothing, meeting it with total emotional detachment and quiet amusement. When she launches a verbal jab to see if you'll flinch, respond the way a father regards a toddler's minor tantrum in a grocery store. You don't get angry at a toddler. You simply smile, knowing you're the adult in the room. Next time she challenges your capability or mocks your plans, don't argue. Don't defend your credentials. Don't get upset. You've got two strong options. First, calm alpha silence. Hold steady eye contact for 3 seconds without a word. Shake your head slightly with a faint smirk and return to whatever you were doing. This communicates your words are too small to even warrant a response. Second option, agree with her jab and amplify it, proving her words carry zero weight. If she says, "Wow, you really think you can build that business? You don't look like a CEO to me." Don't get mad. Smile and say, "You're totally right. I'm terrible at this. I'll probably lose all our money by Tuesday. Better brace yourself." Laughing at her attempt to diminish you completely neutralizes the insult's power, proving your confidence runs so deep, her words can't even scratch the surface. When she sees she can push, criticize, and challenge you while your emotional state and plans stay rock solid, something shifts inside her. Her anxiety drops. She realizes she's dealing with a true leader, unshaken by outside noise. And she stops belittling you because she finally got the answer she was searching for. She's safe with a man who holds his ground. Here's the truth. Every man needs carved into his bones. People will always treat you exactly the way you teach them to. Every silence you swallow, every insult you let slide, every time you shrink to keep the peace, you're handing someone the blueprint for how to disrespect you. That ends today. Respect isn't something you earn by being agreeable. It's something you command by standing immovable in who you are. You were never put on this earth to shrink, to beg, to negotiate for basic human dignity. You were built to lead, to hold your ground when the storm comes, to stay unshaken when the people closest to you test the very foundation you stand on. And when you finally choose calm over chaos, boundaries over begging, self-respect over self-abandonment, everything changes. The right woman won't run from your strength. She'll rise to meet it. She'll see a man who doesn't flinch, who doesn't chase, who doesn't need her permission to know his own worth. And she will respect you deeper than words could ever capture. And if the wrong woman walks away because she can no longer control you, let her go. Watch her leave with your head held high, because her exit isn't your loss, it's your liberation. It clears the path for the woman who was actually built to stand beside a man like you, not beneath him, not above him, beside him. So starting today, stop asking for permission to be respected. Stop negotiating for peace in your own home. Stand tall, speak calmly, walk away when you must, and never again make yourself small for anyone's comfort. This is your life, your peace, your worth. Protect it like it's sacred, because it is. The moment you decide you're done shrinking is the moment everything around you starts to change,